What's up, everyone? Mario Lopez joining me now on Zoom from the Hulu show Life Beth, actor Michael Cera. Welcome to the show, man. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Mario? Good to see you, man.
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. First off, you're probably the only actor in Hollywood without an IG or Twitter page. Respect on that. What's your take on social media? Why the absence?
I don't have a very strong one, to be honest. I don't have a smartphone. I think, well, I guess I do have a take, which is that I always have found smartphones kind of depressing a little bit, or just kind of people's like addiction to them. Like I get a little bummed out by it.
Or
I have a flip phone.
you got the flip phone. Wow.
It's a super durable phone. You could drop this. It's rated to drop from 5 feet high onto concrete.
I like your style. I like it. I bet you the stress level is low.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't really eliminate all stress, but
right.
I mean, I already felt overwhelmed with just keeping up with text messages. So if I had everything, I don't have email on my phone. So I kind of, and at first it was a bit of a negotiation with everyone I know, like just how kind of available you are, like years ago. But then after a while, people kind of know that you don't have emails.
Yeah.
And if they want to reach you, they'll call you or something. So
right.
People figure it out. And yeah. The other thing people ask me is how I get around without a map or something, but
that's GPS.
Yeah.
Thing. You're like a young Bill Murray. I like it.
I write maps still for myself, and it works.
Cool. I love it.
When you write directions, you don't even, after you wrote them, you don't even need to like look at them anymore because you internalize it just when you were writing it.
That's what I do every day with my little. I'm a big list guy, and I always write it down. And you're right. As soon as I write it, I don't need to. But the fact that I wrote it down, it's now in here.
Relieved.
I like the style. The new show is Life Beth with Amy Schumer. Explain your character.
My character is John, and I'm a character that Amy's character Beth kind of bumps into a few episodes in. Amy kind of has this like crisis moment where she realizes she's not happy in any like meaningful aspect of her life with her work or her relationship, and her life is kind of calcified into this thing that is no longer fulfilling, and she sort of wants to just burn it to the ground. And she works for a wine distributor, and that brings her out to this vineyard/farm that I work on and kind of tend. And and then we collide, and our personalities collide in an interesting way.
And she wrote and directed the series, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, she directed a part of it with, there's kind of like a core brain trust team that shared directing duties, and Amy, but it definitely felt like they all kind of directed all of it together. And Amy had total influence over every aspect of the show, including like the vibe on set and everything. It was really her thing.
You guys shoot this in LA?
No, we shot in New York, around upstate New York.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
I'm Canadian. I'm from outside of Toronto.
Oh, okay.
An hour out of the city.
Okay.
Myself. Yeah.
So not too far, just a little jaunt. Right.
Yeah.
Where's home these days?
Well, I live in New York, and all my
works.
family is in Canada, so it's kind of hard to say what you actually call home. I mean, I always say I'm going home when I go to see them.
Yeah. No, I get it. The same way when you go see the parents, that's always helpful. You're also in this animated movie, Paws of Fury: The Legend of
Yeah.
Sounds like something my kids would totally dig. What
I think, it's very sweet. I actually just saw this movie the other night for the first time. We've been working on it for years. I mean, it kind of traded hands over the years, and now it's with Paramount. So it's been a bit of a funny journey for this movie. I'm very glad that it's finally coming out, and it's really sweet. It's a really sweet message, and really sweet characters. I just watched it at home with like my wife and my dad, who was visiting, and that was great. I really can't wait to see it in like a movie theater with kids and nieces and nephew watching it and everything. It'll be sweet.
It's amazing how long it takes those things to come out finally. Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, it really is.
Jonah Hill recently said that he'd be down to do a Superbad sequel when you two are in your 80s. How does that sound to you?
Great. I don't have any plans at the moment for that.
I like it. Why 80s? That's such an arbitrary. Why not like 60s?
I mean, it's hopeful. It's like, okay, we're all going to make it to 80. I mean, I don't know if that's that realistic, but
ambitious. I like it. A lot of these shows are finding new audiences because of streaming, like Friends or The Office. Are people still discovering Arrested Development?
I think so. I mean, it's hard for me to know really, but I mean, there's definitely a very big difference between when we were making the show originally and now, you know, just in terms of the attention that it has and the notoriety that it has. When we were on, it really felt like nobody was watching the show because nobody really was. So it is really nice that people have found it slowly, you know.
Yeah, no, it is. Hey, quality will always rise to the surface. Before I let you go, my man, I want to put you on the spot. Quick questions, quick answers. Okay.
All right.
The song you know all the words to.
I know a lot of words to a lot of songs.
Really?
I play music at home. It's kind of my hobby. And there's a lot of songs that I just have, you know, in my pocket. So
What artist would you say you're most familiar with? His
probably the Kinks. I really love the Kinks, and they have so many great songs.
Right on.
Yeah, and I got to meet Dave Davies a couple of years ago. Actually, it was one of the great moments of my life.
Cool.
It was so cool. We had coffee together at Starbucks in New Jersey. And I never thought I would get to meet him, and you know, I could really cry talking about that I had a chance to meet him. He's a beautiful, beautiful guy.
Did you know how to get there? Did you have to write down the map?
I you know, I have a GPS in my car. Not to brag,
Okay.
but I do have a GPS unit in my car.
Not archaic. Okay, got it. Movie you've seen the most.
Oh man, the most. Gosh, that's hard. I don't know. In the last few years, there's a few movies that I've rewatched, not for any real reason, just because I really like the feeling. One of them is Life is Sweet. It's a Mike Leigh movie from the 90s, I think maybe 1990 or something. And I love that movie so much. It just feels great. It was funny. I even watched it with the commentary. And at the end of the movie, Mike Leigh on the commentary says, he goes, you know, over the years when you make so many movies, some of them become your favorites and some are not your favorites. He goes, this one's not really one of my favorites. And it's just so humbling to hear, you know, like there's this movie that I just love so much. And the guy who made it's like, it's not even one of my best. You're like, oh my God.
It's ironic.
Yeah.
Celebrity crush growing up.
Oh my God. Well, Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Taste. Good taste. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was one of the many.
And if you could reboot any show, what would the next one be?
Reboot a show? The first thing that came to mind is the Larry Sanders Show, but you know, Gary Shandling's no longer with us, sadly. So I would reboot it just to get him back.
That's it. That's a tremendous show right there. Well, it's nice talking to you, man.
You too, man.
Congratulations on everything. And watch Life Beth on Hulu now. Michael, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, Mario. Nice talking to you, man. Yeah.
Good buddy. Take care.
On with Mario Lopez.